Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Courtney DeRonde, who is a CPA and Managing Partner of TDT CPAs and Advisors. Courtney, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Glad to be here.
Well, being a CPA and all these initials and TDT and oh my word! So you've got to have a pronunciation exercise there all the time, huh?
Yes, definitely. We didn't pick the easiest letters.
Yeah, really. Well, give us obviously being a CPA, accounting and finance and money. We get the picture there. But give us a little bit of background on your entrepreneurial journey. What led you then to found your firm?
Yeah, so I am managing partner of our firm. It was actually founded back in the 1970s. So I didn't found the firm, but I have been able to develop my career here and be part of taking a mature business and creating a new vision for how do we remain relevant going forward. So a little bit different in that I didn't found the firm, but have certainly been part of creating a business unit within the firm, and then now in overall firm leadership. So our primary focus is serving small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofit organizations. And so my firsthand experience as a small business owner myself, leading the firm and being a partner, owner, shareholder of the firm, I totally get what it is like to run and scale a small business, and specifically take a mature business and be entrepreneurial with it. You have to, when you get to this maturity stage, you have to either prepare to transition on, to sell or merge in with somebody else, or kind of evolve back to startup and growth stage and reinvent yourself. And that's what we chose to do. We want to remain independent, wanted to clarify our vision, and really hone in on how can we build on the success of the mature business, but change and evolve and remain relevant to our clients going forward.
And I think that should be a lesson moving forward to every single company you ever work with and work for, because never is there a formula that goes, aha, here it is, now let's kick back and just enjoy the fruit of our labor. It always is iteration and tweaking and fine-tuning and learning, and you never should feel like you've arrived. So to me, that sounds like part of a recipe for success.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Mike. You have to be prepared to continuously evolve and grow and remain relevant to the people you serve, and be able to clarify who you help and how you help them, and recognize that that's going to change over time.
Yeah, over the years I've listened to Tony Robbins' teachings, and he talks about something called CANI, C-A-N-I. Have you heard of that before?
No.
It stands for Constant and Never-Ending Improvement. Well, Yep. Never should you feel like, how cool is that? We're done. And if you do start to feel like that, start looking over your shoulder. And I would venture to say that I literally hung up moments ago with someone that I interviewed on my podcast about a month ago, and we just reconnected because we just hit it off so well. But this person literally moved on from his company. He sold it. He had a succession plan in place, left it in wonderful shape, and in fact, probably left it better than when he started, kind of a thing. But anyway, the point is, he now is at a point of his career where he's giving back and serving, many industries. And I think that's the mindset that maybe if you start noticing, I'm done with constant and never-ending improvement in the business. Let's go ahead and bring someone in. I'm going to go and be the figurehead 2 mornings a week and just still be part of it. Or maybe I need to move on. So what is it that you find that you're working with your clients most, maybe not succession planning, but when you come in and they bring you on board, what is the focus that they, that pain point that they have that you're focusing on first?
Yeah, so it does depend on the stage of business. Like you said, we do a lot of succession planning with businesses that are at that stage or business owners that are at that stage. I would say the bulk of the work we do is with businesses and organizations who are in the growth stage. So they've made it past startup. They figured out, what it is they do and how they help and how to market it. They found their customers, and then they're experiencing this growth, and they start to feel like that kind of scrappy, figure everything out on my own mode that I did in startup, which was necessary, to do that, is no longer serving me. And there's got to be a better way. I'm kind of out of my depth. I'm wearing too many hats. And if I don't want to burn out, I've got to find some way to leverage other resources so that I can do what only I can do in my business, and I can utilize other team members, other employees, or outsource resources to help me. So we work with a lot of growth stage businesses on that process of saying, help us understand what you're doing now, and we will provide you with recommendations for how to optimize that, how to clarify roles and responsibilities for what needs to happen, help you determine who can best do those things within your business or with outsourcing, integrate systems, better leverage systems and softwares that you already have, really optimize things so that you're positioned to grow and scale. Kind of just getting things a little bit tightened up and under control from a financial standpoint, for sure, but also operationally. So that's typically the primary way. Like I said, we do work with lots of businesses at different stages and sizes, but that's probably what we see the most frequently. And I think some of it's because that market of privately owned, small, medium-sized growth stage businesses, sometimes they kind of fall in the cracks of where larger CPA firms, there may be that firm is too big for them, and then the other end of the spectrum, maybe a tax preparer or a bookkeeper isn't really robust enough for them.
Right.
And so we recognized that need several years ago and started positioning ourselves to really fill that gap.
Yeah, that's a really interesting and neat approach. It's like, anybody can fill in the blanks with bookkeeping, tax prep, things like that, but we need to have that visionary approach, that 30,000-foot view to maybe we help you grow the business, which then is that hook to keep that firm, connected to you. I love that mindset, and it makes me think this, I can almost envision you meeting with a new company on an onboarding orientation and going, okay, well, tell us about this area in your business. How are you doing there? Oh, it's awesome. Okay, good. And move on. Well, hold on. This particular area, define awesome, and let's dive in. And I wonder if you ever uncover areas of a business's operation that you go, hold on, you just said it's awesome, but we just discussed this and this and this and this and this that ain't so awesome. So their impression is, oh, it's fine. But then when you say, do you ever have this issue or that issue, you uncover opportunities, not problems. And I can't believe how bad you guys are, but opportunities to improve because of blind spots.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly right. And I think a lot of people recognize the symptoms, but not the underlying causes.
Yeah.
And so the way we approach it through that, kind of discovery, like you described, of, going through facilitated sessions and surveys and discussions with different members of their team, we're really getting an outside perspective and from multiple people, from multiple vantage points, and we can start to see and help them dig into some of these underlying opportunities or issues or challenges that they're facing. Sometimes there's minor tweaks. Sometimes there's, big changes that are needed. But a lot of times business owners in this growth stage are spending all their time fighting fires. They're just running around dealing with whatever problem pops up, and they don't have time to dig into the underlying issues that are causing these fires so they can start preventing them. And so that's something that we help them do.
That's a really good point, because if there's this certain point that you describe in your business that you don't really like, whatever that might be, well, let's fix it, but how do we make sure that it doesn't happen again? Because it takes time and resources and money and energy to fix this thing. And yay, you have the solution now to fix it. But why does it ever need to come up in the first place? Whatever that might be. And there could be in HR, it could be in marketing, or it doesn't matter. But I think that when you take that approach, that is kind of like an enlightening way to look at the business, because now we have a system in place to now circumvent and prevent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I think part of what we do is educational. It's teaching them the mindset of that continuous growth and change and what it takes to be scalable and sustainable.
What's a couple of examples of blind spots that you see that you are addressing?
Yeah. So, I mean, one of them is this notion of fighting fires rather than preventing them, and having people who are, they're struggling with cash flow, but they aren't digging into what are the underlying issues that are causing your cash flow problems. And so we help clients, start projecting out cash flow, using a simple tool to project cash flow and recognize where there will be some issues. And then we say, okay, well, what can we do? What are the systems and processes in place? What are the people in your business doing that is causing these issues? Now that we know where there are problems, how can we dig in and figure out why there are problems? So that's one aspect of these, really what I would call more leading indicators. A lot of CPAs focus on accounting for what has already happened and reporting it on financial statements and tax returns. And that's important and necessary, and we do that too. But we also focus on the activities happening right now in the business that are crucial to your success, and help measure and monitor those so that you can identify these issues while there's still time to change the results. So whether that's projecting cash flow or tracking quality, or tracking, the volume of leads coming in, or your win rate, or, it could be from any area of your business, really figuring out where are the most pressing issues or the biggest opportunities. Let's think about the activities that happen around that right now, and how can we measure and monitor that, and then start reporting on that through, dashboards and scorecards to give visibility around those activities while you still have a chance to fix it. So that's one example where the blind spot is, I'm spending all my time fighting fires instead of preventing them, and you've got to get into the underlying activities and start measuring and monitoring that, not just the historical financial info.
And I think the struggle could be that someone would say to you, yeah, but that's fine that we need to put processes in place to prevent that, but the fire is raging right now. I got to put it out. And where am I going to find the time and resources to both put it out and figure out how to prevent it at the same exact time? So is that more of like a time management or resource management, where you say, okay, you as the CEO, you need to make sure of this, and then let's bring in one of your VPs to now put this in place? Because I think that, nobody of your clients would ever say, I've got so much free time, just tell me what to do.
Yes, exactly. So a couple ways that we help with that. One is part of our facilitated discussion is not just identifying the issues, but it's prioritizing them. Yeah. So of all these different opportunities and issues, what is crucial? What is acute? What is urgent? And let's get priority around that. Then the next step is, to your point, how do we address this? What resources do you have internally? Sometimes our clients have the resources, they just needed the clarity and the priority around it. But a lot of the time, they need some assistance. And so we help clients with actual implementation, compared to, a lot of consultants will tell you what the problem is and give you some, instruction about what to do, and then leave you to your own devices to do it yourself. We go beyond that. We have relationships with our clients where we want them to actually execute on this stuff. So we provide temporary CFO services. We provide ongoing CFO services. We provide ongoing accounting and controller services, provide project-based work. So we help them determine what resources do you have available, and how can we help? And sometimes it's how can we connect you in with somebody else who we know who is best positioned to help with this? How can we make introductions and connections for you? So it's really about first understanding the issues, then prioritizing them, and then creating an actual execution strategy that oftentimes we are part of, but we don't have to be. But a lot of times we are part of that.
I think that sometimes people would think, well, that thing that you showed me how to do, that was pretty simple. But the mindset is, well, it's whatever is simple and easy to do is simple and easy not to do. So sometimes you need that outside perspective, that easy plan, and then that accountability to make sure it gets done.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of things are, come down to simple routines and disciplines that you all know you're going to do and that you hold each other accountable for doing. Like you said, I think that's a great way of saying it, Mike. Things that are easy to do are easy to not do as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And also I think some of these, guru or coaches or trainers that come in and go, okay, here's how to fix this problem. And they're like, yes, what? And they lay it out and it's like, oh, I've heard that before. Well, have you done it? And so you don't need to have some earth-shattering, never been seen before thing. Sometimes it is you bringing your industry expertise from multiple industries to this particular company to go, you know what, here's the fire, here's how to put it out, but here's how to prevent it, and here's a unique way to approach it. And so what if we did it this and this, and you brought in that? And now all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's believable because it's not incredulous. It's like, okay, I've heard that before and that before, but you're telling me to put it together in this way. Okay, that makes sense. And I think that sometimes the companies should just say, okay, makes sense. Let's do it. Right? Let's give it the old college try and not try it for 10 seconds and say, ooh, it didn't revolutionize my business. Give it a try and stick with it and let it go, because whatever got you into the situation didn't take 10 minutes. It took you 10 weeks, 10 months, whatever. So I think perspective and mindset is a big thing from what I would suspect, right? Yeah,
I totally agree with that. And I think having the guidance for the ongoing implementation is another factor that helps our clients, is to see that we aren't just telling them what to do and saying good luck to you, that because of our service offerings around ongoing outsourced solutions and different advisory projects, we can be part of the team. You don't have to feel like, now this is one more thing on my plate as the business owner that I have to lead and manage and hold people accountable to. If that's something that our clients need us to step in and be part of, we can do that. And that helps. A lot of times, this might sound silly, but one of the emotions I see people, it gives them hope. Like, there's a way out of this chaos and these fires because I have somebody, I'm not taking a risk on hiring a new full-time CFO and hoping they're the right person. I'm hiring someone as an outsourced resource who has done this before with other companies just like me and knows what to do. And if for whatever reason, they don't deliver, I don't have to unwind this employment situation, but we haven't come across that anyway. But I think there's, just from a business owner perspective, personally, taking on a new employee, especially a high level executive employee, that's a big risk. And so being able to have that kind of expertise and guidance at a fractional share, so there's not as much cost involved and there's not as much risk, it also can give people a lot of hope that there's a path out of this chaos that I'm currently in.
That is, I think we've hit some 30,000 foot view perspectives that we didn't even intend to, but really landed so well. So I think this is so wonderful. So thank you so much. I think that probably the best thing right now is if someone is listening to this going, hey, what can you do for us? What's the best way that someone could reach out and connect with you and learn more about your business?
Yeah, absolutely. We would love for you to go to TDTPC.com/IE for Influential Entrepreneurs, and check out that page. There you will see an opportunity to learn more about the other blind spots that we see. We talked about a couple here on the interview today. We've got more information about really the top 5 blind spots we see and what you can do about them, how you recognize them when you're in this growth stage of business. But also, if these resonate with you or anything we've talked about today resonates with you, I love to hop on a free discovery call and just learn more about what issues you're facing, what opportunities you're evaluating, and share how we might be able to help partner with you like we discussed here today.
Awesome. Well, Courtney, it was really great connecting with you. Thank you for coming on the show, and appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.